The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. The second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
What is going on, my friends? Thank you for clicking onto the video. If you end up liking this one, could you drop it a like? I would really appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. In this video, we are going to try out Brad Pitt's diet from the movie Fight Club. Now, I watched it for the first time last night, and I thought it was interesting. And we'll talk a little bit more about that, but let's jump into the diet first, because in that movie, Brad Pitt is jacked. He's got those ripped abs, he's looking lean and mean and everything that's not me. But for today, we are going to try out his diet, and his breakfast is one of my favorite combinations: oats and eggs. If you have ever eaten egg whites, you know they don't have much flavor to them, so I've added salt, pepper, and garlic powder just to make them taste a little bit better. The article also mentioned that he added 7 whole eggs, but it's impossible to do that because the article also mentions that he intakes under 2,000 calories a day on this diet, which is impossible given the other food that's outlined for the rest of the day. And we're gonna talk about that too, because even without those 7 whole eggs, it doesn't add up, which makes me a little bit suspect of some things, but we'll get into that. The other thing that was interesting is that he added raisins to his oatmeal. Now, I despise raisins. It used to be a running joke in my house. My mom would say if I didn't behave, she'd make me eat raisins, so I have not had them probably since I was like 5 years old. Let's see. You know, really, they're not as bad as I remember them being. I don't discriminate typically when it comes to sugar, but apparently he added these to his oatmeal. I love oatmeal by itself. You guys know I try to get as much volume as possible by using a lot of water. I'm actually gonna throw this back into the freezer just so it thickens up a little bit more, and then we will get to eating. And we are back 1 week later. Man, I was so upset last week. I felt like I lost like my best friend or something without a camera. It was not a good time. That ended up being about a $2,000 mistake. So quite the expensive video. If you guys want to drop this one a like, maybe buy some PE Science supplements with my discount code, you know, that was pricey, but I had the Sony a7S II that broke. This is the Sony a7 III, so give me some time here to really learn this camera. If I make some mistakes, I apologize, but let's get back into the video. I am like super paranoid about this camera, but this morning I had the exact same breakfast, oatmeal and egg whites, because I want to get an understanding of how I would feel if I followed this diet to a T, but I am dreading this. My whole life, I have been terrified of tuna because it smells so bad. That's why I'm trying to keep the lid on as long as possible. It's just, it's one of the worst smelling things I've ever come across in my entire life. But apparently the next meal was tuna and pita. Now these are bombs. Shout out to H-E-B, by the way. If anybody is out there living in Texas, you understand how amazing H-E-B is, but oh my gosh. I would only do this for a YouTube video, man. This is just gonna be, it looks like cat food. Does anyone actually eat canned tuna? No one eats that. That is not human food. That is not edible. I don't care what anybody says. That is, I will eat this entire bag of pita chips before I eat one more bite of that tuna. Guys, that was brutal. I do not think I will ever be attempting tuna ever again. So props to you, Mr. Brad Pitt, for being able to eat that for so long. I'm gonna leave it all for you. But in terms of the movie, I thought it was okay. Definitely not amazing. I know some people love it. I just wasn't that into it, but I can appreciate some of the messaging because in my mind, it wasn't really just about fighting, right? It really didn't have anything to do with fighting per se at all. What I interpreted it as was being more about consumerism and the problem that people are just so infatuated with stuff. They work their lives away, but they're kind of miserable just because they have all this stuff. Doesn't really mean anything.
Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need.
And I think in that regard, that movie was actually ahead of its time because that's even more applicable today than ever, and it probably will continue to be. So maybe a bit of a timeless movie, which is pretty cool. And I was watching an interview with Brad Pitt, and he was talking about, you know, people that are kind of standing in the background and watching, but not actually getting active in the certain activity, whatever that might be. And I think that is so true with so many different things. Take social media, for example. How many keyboard warriors are just sitting back there criticizing and talking about things, but not actually providing any input or any value into whatever is being discussed? So I think that's something that we can all improve on.
We're all spectators. We don't participate anymore. We sit behind our TV screens and our leather sofas and don't get in there.
And after that tuna, I am even more excited to see what's next on the menu. It is a banana and either a protein shake or a protein bar. I am gonna go with the fudge brownie pea science select protein bar, which is my favorite of all time. This is so freaking delicious, and you guys can save 15% using Travis at PScience.com. I feel like that is a must do in this video. It's so good, guys. It literally tastes like you're eating fudge. So I know that keto is the newest rage and all that, but it goes to show you can have carbs, sugar, still have abs? Who would have thought? You know what? The new campaign for the year, let's make carbs great again, why don't we? I hate this part. So I'm looking through the workout that he was following during the prep for this movie, and most of you would love it. It is the epitome of a bro split. Monday chest, Tuesday back, Wednesday shoulders, Thursday arms, Friday and Saturday just cardio. Looks like he's walking for an hour, Sunday rest. So absolutely no legs.
Hell yes.
And these workouts are really nothing crazy at all. Pretty low volume, not a lot of sets, not a lot of reps. Interesting. I wonder what the thought process was behind this. I guess he wasn't really trying to get, jacked out of his mind. He was just trying to get lean or whatever. I've got some opinions on that, but we can save that for another video. Maybe I will try the back workout today. I'll probably throw in some modifications because typically on Saturdays I do a little bit of back and legs. I know it's kind of an odd split, but my training is a little bit all over the place with the injury. We'll try it out. So I know we started the video off a little bit rough, but now this is more my speed. A scoop of protein powder and another banana for post-workout. I'm having the chocolate peanut butter cup, which is one of my original favorites. I absolutely love this flavor. You can mix it with water, mix it with milk. It doesn't really matter. It's always gonna taste delicious. And you can, yeah, I think you guys know by now. Oh my gosh. Well, how unique is this? A fitness diet full of chicken, rice, and vegetable, just making the stereotypes become more and more true. They just said green vegetables, so you guys know that I went with Brussels sprouts. And there's nothing wrong with eating this way, but what I've found, if people try to do this for too long, they just get absolutely sick of it. I'm the weird kind of person that can eat the same type of foods every single day, but I know most people are a little bit normal. And I'm not a big rice guy. I'm more a potato guy. I feel like you're either one or the other. Let me know in the comments down below, rice or potatoes. I just feel like potatoes are much more satiating. So maybe a little bit outside the scope of this video, but I'm getting ready to go meet up with a subscriber. His name is John, and he is a drone flying Jedi. So he's gonna teach me some things, show me some cool places. I don't know, I just love flying that thing. So I'm sure this looks pretty familiar to you guys, considering it's the exact same thing as the last meal. So I've got some chicken, some brown rice, as well as some Brussels sprouts. I would have liked to switch up my vegetable just to get different micronutrients, but that's all I have today. Flying drones, so much fun, but I got so sunburnt, man. I can feel my face. I should have put on sunscreen, but I'm an idiot. When am I going to learn? I am gonna have to use some mustard and some barbecue sauce for this chicken because it just was not that good. I still have one more thing to show you guys, but that's really about all of the food for the day. It's pretty straightforward, simple foods, very good quality foods for the most part. So I would say, in terms of food selection, it's a pretty good diet plan, although I don't know that I like that term. But as I mentioned earlier, in the article it said he was eating under 2,000 calories, but when you add it all up, it's actually closer to 2,600 or 2,700 calories. So that's a very big discrepancy. My guess is whoever was writing that was just being presumptuous, thinking, oh, it's clean food. It can't be more than 2,000 calories, but it's a perfect example of why you actually need to track it. And his activity level wasn't that high, so it actually seems like a lot of food to get down to the body fat level he was at, but it could just be his metabolism. You know, you can't base your macronutrients off of anyone else's. The last and final meal, they say, is either cottage cheese or casein protein. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't see any cottage cheese in here. So we're gonna have to go to the cabinet, and you already know we have plenty of some casein protein. So if you didn't know, Pea Science is a casein whey blend. I think I'm actually just gonna go with 2 more scoops of the chocolate peanut butter cup. Now, if you don't already know about the poverty brownie, this must be your very first video of mine, and if so, welcome. But this is the only culinary skill that I have. I make the best poverty brownie on planet Earth, and I eat it every single night. Okay, so the real calorie count for the day was almost 2,800 calories, and the macro breakdown on that: 280 protein, 358 carbs, 39 fat. So interesting. Now, I do not think that most people are going to be able to get shredded abs on that many calories, but if you are one of the blessed that can eat that much food and still get ripped, brah, then consider yourself very lucky. It is 8:30, guys, and I'm exhausted. I'm getting ready to go to bed. It's been a crazy week. I'm so glad to have my camera back. It's like when I didn't have my camera, I couldn't talk to you guys, and that's why there haven't been Wednesday videos lately. I just got all behind it, screwed everything up, but it doesn't matter because you guys are here now. Thank you all so much for taking the time out of your day to watch. You could have been doing anything in the entire world, and you chose to spend a few minutes with me. That is pretty awesome. Please give the video a like if you enjoyed it. I would really appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I look forward to talking to you guys next time.